Friday night, Sports Talk with Zeca Marques. Welcome. Today we unpack quite a lot to discuss with a very special person. My guest today is none other than Sia, my colleague.
It feels weird. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show.
No, listen, it's long overdue. Yeah. I was having withdrawal symptoms.
I'm so honored because I've seen you've brought on the big guys, the Hilton Smith. You've just been bringing in the big guns. So I'm also honored that I'm one of them today. Hey.
Now we had to raise the bar.
So today it's next level.
The next level. Today, Sia, it's up to you, by the way, because you're going to ask the questions and I'm going to answer. But we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, of course. So
nice little topics.
Yeah,
it's basically catching up on the last 10 weeks of football or 10 games. PSL,
EPL.
As you know, it's you talk, you ask the questions, I'll answer.
Honestly, but Coach, on a serious note, thank you so much for inviting me into your show. And thank you so much. I've been enjoying your shows you've been doing for the past 9 weeks or so. Hey, You've really brought on amazing guests. I mean, you had Leo, who's doing amazing work with managing players and stuff like that in that space. You've brought on the legendary Hilton's Friend Hilton. Friend Hilton Smith. What a legend, you know. The only thing I've known about ladies football, it's always been her. The only coach I know, one of the successful coaches. Speaks so well about the game, and she knows the stuff. Hey, trust me, I do watch your shows. Hey,
okay,
and I learn so much. They've been amazing, Coach.
No, thank you. No,
they've been amazing.
Yeah, but you know, as you know, there's a lot of behind the scenes that we discuss.
Yeah.
And when we discuss, we plan.
Yeah, of course.
We unpack.
Of course.
We're fortunate to have our sound engineer, Elias.
Yeah, Mr. Elias. Shout outs to him.
Yeah. So, sharing ideas, always trying to make it better.
Yeah.
And we know that every show is a challenge to make the next one even better.
Of course.
And that's why I brought you today.
And Coach, I heard last week already you did an amazing thing. Hey, you were on the Roberto Marawa show. Congratulations as a legend.
Well, I was surprised and shocked, obviously, because Robert phoned me. Well, Bev, his secretary, phoned and said, listen, this is the story. Robert wants you on his show. And I always go to these things, you know. And when Robert calls, you go.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, it was a great show.
Yeah, you can actually check out the interview. It is on the 947 YouTube channel. Amazing interview. You're going to enjoy it. He was invited as on Fridays, Robert Marawa has Legends Night. So he went there as a legend. Not everyone gets to be called as a legend, Coach. Normally you can be called as a coach. Coach, how was the game? Coach, how are you planning for next season? But when you're called as a legend in that platform, it really says that there's something right, that you've contributed to this league, to this country's football. And I want to say shout outs for that, Coach.
No, thank you. I was actually, it was a bit emotional because we touched on certain subjects that are very close to my heart. We touched on Swallows, football in general, but the feedback from the supporters out there, sometimes you take things for granted.
True.
And it was amazing to get the feedback. So, and the feedback for me is important because it shows me that I'm on the right track.
100%.
When people phoned in and they said, no, he's a legend, his success, his character, whatever they said, it was all positive stuff. And it was all true because the next listener said the same thing.
Of course.
Or similar. So everyone was in the same line.
Yeah.
That's when you know, okay, this is the guideline.
True.
But I enjoyed it. I loved talking to Robert. His energy.
Yeah, true. Amazing guy.
Amazing. His honesty.
True.
That's his problem.
He doesn't mind sacrificing a job for the truth.
That's his problem.
And he's done it before.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the sad part of this. Because he's too honest for this game. He's too honest for society. And people need to know the truth.
True.
And he gets the truth. And it's cost him.
Coach, is he really, as when you look at him grilling people, I mean, you obviously spoken to him at a level as a coach, and I'm sure that was not Friday like it was this Friday. Is he really that guy who grills you as a coach? Does he make you feel, I don't want to speak to this guy's going to grill me?
No.
He's not like that.
No.
He just wants the truth.
Robert is one of the most down-to-earth guys.
Wow.
He's approachable. He's honest. And all he wants is the truth. Which I think we all do.
Of course.
We're living in a world of riddles.
Of course.
and perceptions, and a facade.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
it's got to be what we want to portray in the media. It's
Of
what the
course.
politicians want to portray. Meantime, behind the scenes, it's completely the opposite.
100%.
It's like night and day.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. You know, off the screen they're one thing, and on the screen they say all the nice
True.
things. And Robert just goes, "I want the truth."
Wow, what an individual. And coaches, are so amazing to see your brothers also being invited in studio. And I didn't know your brother contributed so much to the game as well. Just a brief highlight. Obviously, if you want to check out the interview, you're more than welcome to go to the 947 YouTube channel. You can check it out there. Just in highlight, your both brothers, what did they contribute to the SA game?
You know, as crazy as this is, my one brother, my middle brother,
Yeah.
he worked for Super Sport for he actually just retired now.
Wow.
He's 60.
Wow.
He's just retired. He must have worked for them for at least 30 years.
No ways.
Easy.
Shoo.
30 years.
So you must have interacted with Robert then.
He knows Robert well.
Okay.
He knows Robert well.
Okay.
So he worked for them for about 20 to 30 years. My youngest brother was a referee in the PSL for a few years.
Wow.
And now he's a match commissioner.
Yeah.
Now he's also a referee, FIFA instructor.
Mention his name, please.
Paul Marks.
Paul Marks.
So behind the scenes, there were games when I was at Swallows.
Yeah.
Where my brother was. We firstly started off as a ref.
Yeah.
And
Obviously, people much commission must first be a ref, yeah.
So he was a referee of 2 of my games.
No way.
Yeah.
Did he do you any favors?
No favors. And I actually said to him after the second game, I said to him, my advice to you, write a letter to the Referees Association and tell them you don't want to do any of my games. Because what I don't want is one day to get a penalty, and rightfully so, or win a game, rightfully, and then people start blaming you because you're my brother.
Yeah.
We don't need this in our lives.
True.
So
did he do that?
He put that request in and he never left our games again.
No ways.
Yeah.
Which is a fair request.
Yeah.
And coach, tell me, did you have a go at him? Because I know you on the bench, you definitely had a go at.
No, afterwards, I'd phone him and I would say, there was 2 or 3 bad calls.
And I feel...
I said, Paul, there were 2 or 3 bad calls, you know that. And he's like, yeah, but the heat of the moment. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to help you.
True.
He's my brother. I mean, I'm not going to have I know he wouldn't cheat.
Of course.
At least one thing I know he wouldn't cheat. But it was this transparency, and that because of that, I said to him, rather stay out of it. Don't ref our games. But the one game he was on the line. I was on the bench and my other brother was the floor manager.
In one game. That must have been amazing. That's a unique story, hey coach.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. So Robert actually brought it up and he says, we have the Marx brothers here. And off air, he actually said, I want to invite the 3 of you again and we're going to talk about South African football because, Roy, you've got lots of stories to talk about. Imagine 25 or 30 years of football, big games, the cup finals. Listen, he was involved at the highest level. The Springboks, the cricket, you name it, he was there. Boxing, you name it, he was there.
Yeah.
If you go to his house, it's amazing, the photographs that he's got. And then my other brother was ref. So from his side, there's stories to tell. From my brother Roy, there's stories to tell.
Wow.
And then obviously from mine.
Ooh.
So we could cover a program. Actually, maybe I can bring in the other one.
Yeah.
And we can sit here and you ask the question.
No, but you should, eh? That would be nice. You can actually have him on board, have him on a Friday night. Yeah. We didn't think about that. We always look outside, whereas there's so much within.
There's so much within. So Robert actually highlighted that. He said, no, we must get you guys back in.
That would be awesome.
So I thought, definitely. So it was nice. It was great. Yeah. And it was because of Robert being the way he is and asking the right questions, he's just got a knack of it to do it. He just knows how to just get to the point.
100%.
You got to be on your toes. Yeah, you can't just think. You can't just answer.
Otherwise you'll be exposed.
Yeah. And that's the one thing I've learned with Robert.
Have you had moments where you're like, oops, I've put myself in hot water here?
No.
You always think about
when I say it, I mean it.
Yeah.
Done. If I say it, I mean it. Otherwise, I'd say, Robert, sorry, I can't answer that question. In actual fact, there was a question he answered. I said, no, let's leave that one out. If I can't, I can't.
It's fair. Yeah.
But it was great. Yeah.
But coach, tell me, how has it been since it's the past 10 weeks? Have you been enjoying it? Do you look forward to doing it? Like just the past, the sports talk with Zach. I just want to know, before we get into our things, from a human side, how has it been? Have you been enjoying it?
No, it's been great. Number one, it's been a moment of growth.
Wow.
Personal growth.
Wow.
Being on this side like you are, it's a skill. It's a talent. And people take it for granted
Wow.
that you guys are talented.
Wow.
You know, and that's why Robert is the way he is. It's a talent.
Sure.
Communication is a skill.
Sure.
In actual fact, I've spoken to a friend of mine. He's a communication expert. He does courses for the Portuguese Federation.
Oh, wow.
He works for Super Sports. And maybe next week, I'm just going to confirm with him. I've invited him to the studio here
Awesome.
to talk about communication.
Awesome.
So there's a lot to learn of communication, and communication for me is vital in this world. Number one, to interact with human beings, but what you guys do is a skill and talent.
Wow.
And the more talented you are, the better communicator you are.
Sure.
So I've learned that as well, you know, because I think you only don't learn if you don't want to learn.
Wow.
And you're never too old to learn anything.
True.
In actual fact, the older you get, the more you need to upskill yourself.
True.
To
be
number one,
in touch and
yes, to
up to
regenerate
date.
your brain
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
It's not like
and you're doing a lot of that, hey, Coach? You've been empowering yourself, eh?
constantly,
Sure.
because I think it's important. We got to be in touch with things. You know,
Sure.
what is, and that's another thing I've also learned in science. By the way, in football, what is right today is wrong tomorrow. That's
Wow.
how science evolves.
Wow. Wow. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so in the world we live in, the way we communicate today is not the same as we communicated 10 years ago.
True. True.
And if you don't upskill yourself, well, you're going to be outdated. And then soon you find yourself without a job. And this is the problem out there. People go, yeah, but I've been redundant. Or I've been told my job's come to an end. Yeah, you haven't upskilled yourself.
Yeah. That's a life lesson right there.
Yeah.
That's a life lesson right
You've got
there.
to upskill yourself. And fortunately, I'm a student of knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm like a sponge. I'm always seeking new ideas.
I've noticed.
Because I've got to be on top of my game, number one. Number two, when you go to certain environments and functions, it's good to be socially skilled. It's good to have conversations, decent conversations to talk about. And not just go to a social event and you're clueless.
Sure.
So-
That's so true.
Yeah, so you've got to know a little bit of something. You know, I watch the news, I read some certain articles, I try and read more than others. I love history. You know, so if I go to an environment and we're there, let's imagine, Sia, we go to a presidential function and you're talking to people at high level. Now, what is your social skill? What is your knowledge? Can you talk about certain subjects? If you can, then you're going to be easily accepted.
Of course.
If you can't, people are going to look at you slightly. No, this guy just doesn't make the grade.
Yeah.
And again, you never know who's watching you.
100%.
So keep upskilling yourself, keep learning new things, keep in touch, follow your passion, and then life becomes so much easier and more enjoyable, by the way, because the more knowledge you gain, the more you want to learn.
Wow.
This is what I also found out.
Wow.
The more I learn, the more I realize I need to learn more.
Wow.
You know, so those are little things. And you and I, we discuss this a lot off air. You know, that you've got to keep upskilling yourself.
Yeah,
so
course.
I've learned a lot. Being here with the media, it's different, but I enjoy it.
100%.
It gives me a different tool in my toolbox.
Wow. I like that. 100%, Coach. Coach, I want to ask, let's get into it now.
Yeah, no. Listen, we've gone.
Yeah. Now the real deal starts.
Yes.
Coach, we are coming from a FIFA international break, and we cannot ignore the fact that Bafana have qualified for Morocco 2025, and they did that with 2 games to spare without even kicking a ball. I think it's been a long time since we took out our calculators. Bafana has always been known for that. I think in the past 10, 15 years, we've really not cracked it. And I think we kind of at the right track. We're qualifying for our 2nd consecutive AFCON, which was not a norm before. It happened once or twice, but it was never a norm. We are from the previous AFCON, we have a bronze medal. I was listening to other journalists throughout Africa throughout this week, because it was a FIFA week after matches and stuff like that. And there seems to be some respect for Bafana. We've not arrived, but there is a certain element of respect for Bafana now. I mean, you go to Uganda, Kampala, you win 2-0 convincingly, you dominate the game. I just see positives and positives and positives. And shout outs to the boys and Hugo Bruce for the amazing job that he has done. Coach, what's your take on Bafana Bafana thus far?
Well, number one, I'm going to start off exactly where you ended.
Yes, sir.
And the name there is Hugo Bros.
Yes, sir.
The guy was crucified when he came here, humiliated, disregarded. People wanted him out. People wanted his job, by the way.
Yeah.
The jealousy, the envy around him. No one gave him a chance. But that's how we've been as a country.
True.
You know, we just think that when you bring someone in, we crucify him from the word go. And the sacrifices and what he's endured in the media on a daily basis, I'm happy for him. More than anyone else, I'm happy for him. Because it's vindicated all the people, all the doom and gloomers out there that wanted him to fail. And he succeeded. So you've got to give him credit. Because when the things don't work, the coach gets the blame. But when things work,
the players get the glory.
The glory. That's wrong. The coach gets the glory. Because he turned it around. He made it happen.
100%.
And that's the bottom line. Yes, the players then created and followed through, but he made it work. It was his vision, it was his energy, it was his knowledge, it was his leadership. Everything around him was the glue that made this work. So, Hugo Boss, 10 out of 10. I'm happy for him.
I think so too.
I'm happy for the guy. And obviously, I'm happy for the boys because now they know what it's like to be a winning team.
Yeah, I mean, they play in packed stadiums now and they play here at home.
Now
that was never a no.
Yeah, now there's respect. When you go out into society and you go wherever you go, wherever you live, people look up to you now.
Of course.
You become a role model. That's a positive impact in society.
Of course.
Now people can wear the yellow jersey with pride. Not just
for
the
the
cupboard.
sake of.
Wear a Springbok jersey all the time and the Pro jersey all the time because we didn't enjoy that. Now people go, I'm upbeat. I want to wear this jersey with pride. And there's the positive one about this, Sia. When national teams win, there's a positive upswing in society.
True.
People are more positive.
True.
People are more productive.
True.
Because
naturally,
there's an upswing. It's proven. So it's not only about the sports side, it's about the economical impact it has in society.
Go on, Coach.
So that's positives. Now we're there. We qualified the last game we could have played with no one.
Exactly. And we still win 2-0 for the sake of pride.
Yes.
We still win 2-0.
Because it's important to maintain the momentum.
Yeah.
Everyone builds momentum.
And you can see he's a professional. Hugo Bruce is a true professional.
Absolutely. So, I think it's great for us. I think it's brilliant for South Africa. Africa looks at us slightly different now. We were the scapegoats.
Of course.
There was no respect.
No ways.
We're just like, we're playing Bafana. Okay, guys, it's almost a guaranteed 3 points. Now, they're on the back foot.
True.
And you remember the one time you and I were discussing it and I said, we beat Nigeria and there'll be respect on the continent for us.
We beat Nigeria and there'll be respect. Yeah, definitely. I remember.
That was one of the crucial factors.
Sure.
Because we beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
And they are the top.
Of course.
Okay, and we beat them there.
Of
If I'm
course.
not mistaken.
Of course. In the AFCON. No, they actually beat us in penalties, but we gave them a run for their money. We were the better team on the day. Then the game went on to penalties. Then they won.
Then they won.
But we were all over. They actually defended us on that. I remember that game very well.
Okay.
They defended us.
We
We were all over them. You're right.
So there's respect now. We stood up to them. We no longer pushovers. So Bafana, we've rekindled the pride of the nation.
100%.
You can see it. You can feel it. There's a buzz about our sports. Rugby won on the weekend.
We'll touch on rugby as well.
You see? So all of a sudden there's a positive vibe. And a positive vibe in sports has an impact in society. No doubt. It's been proven, by the way.
Yeah, true. You can also see. And then, Zeca, as a person who's been in the game, you obviously know coaches around the world. Did you know Hugo Bruce before coming to Bafana Bafana? Because I started knowing him when he coached Cameroon, but I was like, oh, okay, Hugo Bruce, whatever. But obviously I read about him now when he was Bafana, his history. Did you know about him?
Not at all. He was one of those coaches that, they come into Africa and they just meander around you.
Yeah.
But then he was at Cameroon.
He won the AFCON with Cameroon.
He won with them, so that says a
and
lot.
so the way he won it, he even says that the way this media treated him, the way everything happened, similar to Cameroon. Then after winning that AFCON with Cameroon, he resigned because he says that the media was against him. They bashed him because what he did in that team, he took out all the old players and put in a whole lot of youngsters, just like he did now. And everyone was like, but how can you get rid of this guy and this guy? So that's why after winning it, he resigned. So he says what is happening to him here also happened in Cameroon.
Unfortunately, that's the life of a coach. People want big names sometimes. Big names don't win. It's a fact. Big names don't always win. And you're seeing it on a daily basis now. On the world platform, in clubs, national teams, big names don't always win. The leadership skills, that's what wins. Man management skills, that is what wins. That's what turns things around. Hugo Bross, obviously, when he went to Cameroon, because you must remember one thing here.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. When a coach gets appointed, there's some people in favor and the majority against you.
Wow. Majority against.
Against.
Sure.
Because
before you even start coaching.
Yes. Yeah, it's a fact.
Just
so let's hypothetically say you've said, I want Zeca Marques to be my coach. In this environment of the federation, you say you want me. But everyone around you have their own agendas.
Okay.
Because national football, and let me unpack it even a little bit more.
Please do. I like this.
Yeah. let me unpack it a bit more.
Yes,
there are agents that have influence over coaches.
Oh yeah, the sad thing.
All right, and if you all of a sudden if you select 2 or 3 players from this agent, the ratings go up, the value of the player goes up.
Wow.
That's the impact. So you go, not you go, Bross. You
That's
go,
a nice one.
Yeah, you go.
Excuse the pun.
You link to 2 or 3 agents, and they're gonna say, listen, if you go in there, I'm gonna make sure you get the jobs here, or you're the chairman, and the agents come to you and they go, listen, Sia, this is what happens. I want you to appoint this coach, because if this guy gets the job, we'll look after you.
Sure.
That's how football's gone. And all of a sudden, I get the job. Now, I'm influenced by 2 or 3 coaches who I'm on the take. Right? All of a sudden, I select 5 or 6 players. It should never be there. But I'm the national team coach, and I select them. The value of those players for their agent goes up 10 times, because all of a sudden, he's a national team player. Doesn't have the value.
Yeah, but you're a national team.
National team player.
That's
simple. And that happens in many countries in Africa.
Not just South Africa.
No, it happens a lot more in Africa than South Africa.
Wow.
A lot more in
Africa.
Europe? I have no doubt it happens as well in Europe.
Not so.
Europe's not perfect. Let's forget that. Europe doesn't always. It's not like, the Europeans, they're honest.
Okay.
No. There's also lots of crooks there, let me tell you. And some coaches have been known for that, but have been known by being influenced by certain high-profile agents. So it happens. In Brazil, it happens, I know, because my friends tell me, in Brazil, certain players in Brazil shouldn't be there, and they're there. And then once you've got that in your cap, once you're a Brazilian national team player, your profile shoots up tenfold.
Of course.
Maybe 100-fold.
Yeah.
So, Hugo Bross, a Cameroon, that's why sometimes then those agents influence the media.
Oh.
Of course. They influence the media because the media's also under some agents.
Of course.
And then this is where the negative stories start.
It's sad, eh?
Yeah. So football, that's why I say football it's not what we see. It's behind the scenes, not what we see. And that's why I've lost respect for the game. I've lost respect for lots of things in football because of that. When people say so-so is called up for the national team, it doesn't convince me.
I get you.
Because I understand the shenanigans that goes on behind the scenes.
I get you.
Unless the play is that value.
I get you.
So that's what the coaches have to fight against. And Hugo Bross fought against that in Cameroon. When he came to South Africa, he was unknown. Obviously, that factor of being unknown went against him. And then you get what I call certain groups collaborating against you all the time.
Sure.
So this is what you fight against. But then when you win, this is your victory.
Yeah. Because you prove everyone wrong.
You prove everyone wrong.
And he says that just before the AFCON, he almost didn't come back. it took some real convincing. He was like, no, I'm done with Bafana. They don't appreciate me. I've improved this country, but I still get criticized as if I don't know what I'm doing. I'm done. It really took convincing for him to take us to AFCON.
And that's what 90% of the coaches go through. Because unfortunately in football, everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean doesn't mean to say you know the game.
Yeah.
Football is more complex than what you think.
Sure.
Football is very complicated. You're not just picking a player, because some players are not conducive to be part of the group because they're not team players. And when you're building a national team, and Spain had this problem many, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Spain today is a different Spain than what they were a few years ago, quite a few years ago, because there was the Spain of Real Madrid,
Yes.
and the Spain of Barcelona. And Barcelona is a region.
Yes.
And this region wants autonomy. So when Catalonia, this is the region, Catalonia, and they've been fighting for independence.
Oh, hence they call the Catalans in
Yes.
English. Okay, I didn't know. Oh, that's why they
Yes.
call the Catalans.
Yes, so
All right.
Catalonia is a region. They speak a different dialect to the Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a bit more. There's a bit more French, and it's a mixture, but it's a different dialect altogether. When you listen to someone from Catalonia talk and someone from Spain, I can understand the Spanish from Spain.
Yeah.
Battle to understand the Catalonia.
Okay.
It's a different
okay.
dialect.
Okay.
So Catalonia they've been fighting for independence for many years. So there was this two different camps. So when the players from Barcelona came into the national team, and you had players from Real Madrid, Athletic Madrid that were from Spain, there was this clash.
Oh.
There was no unity.
I get it.
There was no national pride.
Hence they were struggling for years.
For
and
years they were struggling. Now imagine this. Let's use our imagination, and you pick players from KwaZulu-Natal, Zulu,
Yeah.
and then you pick players from Venda.
Ooh.
Okay,
Yeah.
they got to gel. If they're not gelling, the national team's not gonna work.
Yeah, and it's two contrasting tribes and cultures, and
Yes,
you know.
yes. Then
can
you pick
imagine.
players from Cape Town, for example.
Sure.
It's a different mindset. So, and this is the job of a national team coach, is to make these different people or cultures unite with a vision of one badge, one nation.
Sure.
And that's not always possible, because then you have the different clubs, different camps. So why do you think we have so much success? Because 80% of our national team comes from Sundowns.
Ah, true. True.
Why does it work? It's the camaraderie amongst those players. It's the friendship. It's the bond that makes it work.
I get it.
Not necessarily they're better players. There might be better players out there. But because they gel, because there's a bond, you see it on the field when Sundowns play. And then they're a team that win. So a winning team is a winning culture.
Sure.
So they bring that winning culture into Bafana. Because 8 of them are playing.
Yeah. And also playing in the CAF Champions League as well. High
Yes. So they understand what pressure is. They understand the demands of the game.
Sure.
And they're used to working under pressure game after game.
Yeah.
And then they're winners. Mentally, they're winners.
Of course, if you play for Sundowns, you're a natural winner.
You
Definitely.
see, so that culture integrated into the national team, then you filter in some other players, the culture is there.
I get it.
That's why there's success. So people can complain that, yes, Sundowns, that's the way it is. Portugal for many years had success because the majority of the players came from Benfica. Benfica was a winning team.
Yeah, also played in the UEFA a lot. As a kid, I used to see
Yeah.
Benfica almost every year. They've
Yes.
shied away in the past.
Yeah.
In the
But there was
recent
a
years.
culture. They had winning. There was a winning combination. The players knew each other. They felt comfortable in the field with each other. The biggest challenge for a national team is when you have too many different players and they've got to gel within 2 weeks.
Doesn't make sense.
Some of them feel uncomfortable.
True.
You know, I'm playing with you. It's awkward. Not every player has the same mentality or approachability as everyone else.
I get it.
They feel uncomfortable. They come into the national team, and you playing, and you and I are playing centre back. If there's a lack of communication and understanding, it does make a difference.
Sure.
So our success has been the fact that Hugo Bross has been intelligent enough to say, you know what, let me not break this winning mentality. Let me take the best players from Sundowns, if they're good enough to play for a national team. Let's integrate them with the national team, and then build around them. The foundation is Sundowns, and let's build around them. And slowly, the culture was created.
I get it.
And what's the most important part? Goalkeeper, defense. They all work together. There's an understanding amongst them.
Definitely. Well said. I think you've broken it down so nicely. Coach, when you speak up Premier League Sundowns, I also want to touch on the Betway Premiership. You know, this year we had a new sponsor, the Betway Premiership. You have coached in the, what's the word I'm looking for? In the Castle Premiership, the Castle Premiership. Yeah, you've coached in the Castle Premiership. You've coached in the Absa Premiership as well. And obviously, when it was the DSTV, which Sundowns won all of them, you were not part of. You were busy with your development work. And now it's the Betway Premiership. Coach, do you think there's a sense? Me personally, I think there's just a new vibe about this league. You get sold out stadiums. Teams are doing so well. From watching from the outside, as a person who's coached, as I said, in the Castle Premiership, in the Absa Premiership, and now it's the Betway Premiership, what's your sense around it, Coach? Do you see a new vibe, new energy, football?
Yeah, definitely. You know, every sponsor brings a different dynamic.
True. Mentally, hey? Coaches, players, technical teams, there's just that thing about
It's
it.
a bit of a
And
buzz.
everyone wants to win it for the first time.
Yes, there's a buzz.
There's a buzz, that's the word.
And depending on how the sponsors get involved,
Yeah.
depending on what they're looking at, I have no doubt that Betway, being a betting company, wants people in the stadium.
Of course.
They don't want to see
and
empty
people are
stadiums,
coming.
and the people are coming. So their drive is about trying to get what we call in football world bums on seats. So they will do everything to get bums on seats, and that is a positive. That will translate to the players. There's nothing worse here than playing. When I was at Swallows, I used to joke about this. I used to say Swallows is a team that we don't introduce the players to the team. We introduce the supporters to the team.
Ouch.
Yeah. And there's many of those teams out there now.
Yeah. Ouch.
You know, you've got 22 players on the field and there's 15 supporters watching.
And it's
you.
reality.
And it's reality. You know, so it has a negative impact. I used to feel it. You could see you walk on the field, you look around, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's no vibe here.
Yeah. So, coach, would you rather play against a Chiefs or Pirates at their home, at their backyard, full stadium? Then you know the fans are behind them. They've got the 12th man. Or would you rather play at Dobsonville? You played at Dobsonville, hey? Or at Dobsonville Stadium with your few supporters, but now Pirates are not used to. It's more frustrating for them. Which is better?
I used to enjoy playing in the big stadiums when they were full.
Okay, irrespective whether I'm an underdog or irrespective.
Because you go with the underdog mentality into a big stadium to quieten them down.
I get it, and it's such a nice feeling after that. Hey,
exactly.
Such a nice feeling.
So the mentality is, we're going to play against Chiefs. We know there's going to be 60,000. Let's go and silence them. That's the challenge.
That's motivation.
That's the motivation.
I get it.
But besides that, the players love playing in a stadium where there's a buzz. You know, after a while, you forget you're playing at home or away.
Oh, you just enjoy the crowd.
The noise is there.
I get it.
And the opposition play, and when they're buzzing, we raise our game to compete with them. So that's why both teams always play exceptionally well, because one sets the standard, the other one raises to the standard.
I get it. So there is that slight buzz, you can attest to it.
Absolutely. There's no doubt. We played at Orlando Stadium. You walk on the field, and the noise is there. You're on a high because you are already on a high because there's 50,000 people. They're screaming, and for you or against you, it's irrespective.
Yeah.
But the buzz is there, the vibe is there, and that's what you want. You want the stadium to be full so that the vibe is there.
I get it. And coach, are you satisfied as PSL as a product itself? I mean, about last week already, they had the PSL elections. Not really much has changed except for the introduction of Tim Sugazi and what's his name, Bafo Biela from Richards Bay, and obviously John Committee is no longer part of the Exco committee. Nothing much has changed. And what do you think of the product itself, management, not just the football field, but the product itself? Are you happy with the product?
Yeah, listen, again, you got to give Dr. Erwin Koza all the credit.
100%.
He's done an unbelievable job.
100%.
We are what we are. Kudos to him.
True.
PSL works because Dr. Koza is in charge. It is, I would say, managed. I would use the word loosely and with respect, with an iron fist, but you need it. Any organization, especially in football, where you have different egos, different mentalities, there's got to be one boss.
Of course.
and someone's going to rule it.
Of course,
And
of course.
Dr. Koza does it exceptionally well. Number one. Number two, people respect him. Everyone that's involved in the PSL or NFD respect Dr. Koza for what he's done and what he's achieved for South African football. He's done an amazing... listen, you take Dr. Koza out of the equation, and I don't see the PSL at the same level.
That's what everyone says. I listen to other journalists behind the scenes. They say that this guy has got the PSL.
Yeah.
Like, he's holding it down. Should
Yeah.
something happen to him,
Yeah.
they're going to have to start all over again.
Yeah.
They say, think about it. You're going to have Chipampengesi as those are the guys that are going to come in. And not disrespect, but that's what everyone is saying, that
Yeah.
this guy is holding it down.
Yeah. Listen, if it's not for him, the thing would have been dismantled long ago.
Yeah.
So, and let's face it, you mentioned the Chipa. Let's look at the PSL at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's almost like the American elections.
Wow.
You know, who do you appoint?
Yeah, true.
And then
That's
you-
what everyone is
Yeah,
saying.
and then you appoint this guy.
Yeah.
You know, who's a loose cannon.
True. And coach, I was actually privileged to be able to attend the elections on last week Wednesday at the Ascension Convention Center.
Oh, were you there?
Yeah, I was there. They invited the journals as well.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So you look at Kaiser Mtawung, you look at Irvin Koza, like they look old, hey? I'm thinking, what's going to
Yeah,
happen next?
yeah.
Literally, Kaiser was even walking with a stick. I mean, the man is 80. So you can
Wow,
imagine.
eh?
Yeah. And like Irvin is probably like 4 years younger. So they are old. And I get scared when I look at them. They're very fresh, they do their job proper, but I'm just saying, what's the next? What's a succession
yeah.
plan?
Who-
That's my biggest fear.
And you know what, Sia, you're so right. When you look at the succession plan, who do you find?
Yeah.
There's no one there with class.
True.
There's no one there that you can look and say, he's got leadership.
True.
He can represent as well. And when in any environment, you need people that stand up and people can look at them and admire them and respect them. More than anything else, respect them. Respect them for who they are. People with integrity and know how to manage and know how to draw. Listen, Evan Koza makes a call and he gets a sponsor.
Of course.
Who will be able to do that?
Exactly. And he says at one point all else had failed and he went to Mutsipe and he says, Mr. Mutsipe, we
Yes.
need someone to sponsor
Yes.
our NFD.
And he did.
They did.
And he
Mutsipe did.
Yes. Who's got that?
Exactly.
I won't even say power, but who's got that charisma?
Of course.
And that is where you see leadership.
Sure.
Where he says, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
And sorted.
Done.
Whereas other guys will phone, and I'm sure Patrice will say, I'm busy at the moment.
True, but if it's him, it's the iron joke.
Yes, because they know what they get.
Of course.
That is the difference.
Of course.
They
of
know
course.
Evan Koza makes a call, things work.
Of course. Shout outs to the chairman
Yeah.
for continuing.
Betway. DSTV left. The next day, Betway was there.
Exactly. And DSTV still had a year left on their
Yes,
contract. They
yes.
just couldn't
They just couldn't
fulfill.
sustain it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are little things. That's why. And interestingly, you and I are discussing it now, but we discussed it about 2 weeks ago with some mates. We were at a function. The PSL came up, by the way.
Yeah.
And the guys were like, Zeca, what do you think is going to happen when Dr. Koza is not there? I was saying, oof, it's a shot in the dark at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Because I can't see anyone.
Of course.
I really can't see anyone.
Same.
So we have a problem.
I mean, you see, it's been uncontested for so many years.
Yes.
You can already see that there's no one who can even contest it.
Yes. And the nice thing about it is that Dr. Koza is supported behind the scenes by Kaiser.
Exactly.
And Kaiser is a gentleman.
Kaiser is such a gentleman.
You see?
Yeah.
So you've got two people. Kaiser's a low profile person.
True.
You don't-
And he seems a bit shyish as well. Shies away from the media.
He's not there for the glamour. He doesn't need it. The club is there.
True.
But I have no doubt that him and Dr. Koza often will go for a cup of coffee.
Of course.
And discuss a few
Of
things,
course.
brainstorm, and then things happen.
Yeah.
And you need that because I have a huge admiration for Kaiser Mtaung, for the person that he is. I've spoken to him a few times. And
Humble, hey? Down to earth. Yeah. Even speaks with a softish voice.
You know, I was at a function the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually fun enough. It was the Kappa launch when Chiefs and Kappa last year.
That's why I knew I had to bring my...
Kappa top.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm kidding.
Yeah. But we were invited to the launch, myself and my son, and we were there, and I was just chatting, and Kaiser Mtaung, he saw me, he came to me, he says, "Evening, coach, nice to see you."
Wow.
And I went like, I was like,
wow. Goosebumps, eh?
yeah, I was shocked because he would have. He could
Of
have just
course.
raised
I
his
mean,
hand.
his
He could have just done this and
yeah,
walked
yeah,
away.
yeah.
You know.
Wow. And he shook your hand.
He said, "Mr. Marks, nice to see you." I'm like, "Wow."
Wow.
You know, that's where you see the caliber of the person that he is. That's where you see his character.
I get
That's
it.
why I say at the moment those two, plus obviously everyone else doing their part, but yeah, the future at the moment is like a shot in the dark.
True. Well said. Coach, I've been looking here. Let's move right along to some EPL news now. Time is flying, hey, believe it or not. It's 11 games in. Liverpool are at number 1. Man City at number 2. Liverpool actually will have 28 points, 11 games. Man City have 11 games, 23 points. Chelsea 11 games, 19 points. Arsenal 11 as well, 19 points. And at number 5 we have Nottingham Forest. 11 games in. Seems like the league is now taking its shape. I'm so impressed with Liverpool. I didn't think they would be here right now. I would expect number 1 and 2 to be Arsenal and Manchester City at this stage. You find Liverpool leading Manchester City by 5 points.
Can I ask you a question? Why didn't you expect much from Liverpool?
Because they just dropped in a new coach. The team is full of youngsters, so I thought this season will be a building phase for him. He'd also look at the team and think, okay, maybe next season I must get the senior player here, the senior player here. So I thought maybe he would be 4 or 5 somewhere there, compared to versus Manchester City and Arsenal, who are a well-oiled machine that is already functioning. So that was just my opinion.
Yeah, that's like a supporter, by the way.
Which I am.
Yeah. That's why I asked the question.
So it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no, that's why I asked the question. The coach comes in, if he knows what he's doing, things will get going.
Wow.
So the dynamics don't change much because the culture of the club is entrenched. So you're buying into a culture of a club, and then you have a coach in this case, that understands what he wants, brings in the youngsters, but he doesn't bring youngsters because of youngsters. He brings youngsters with quality.
I get it.
The youngsters have been properly developed. The second years, the development that they've had, now they've been assessed, nurtured, move on to the next step. He comes in, it's a fresh start, but it's a fresh start for both. And a fresh start for both is an opportunity to grow. An opportunity to grow is an opportunity to get results. And once you start getting those results at the beginning, you start getting traction.
So it's that thing, winning becomes habit.
Winning becomes a habit. Winning becomes it's a mentality, it's a mindset. With winning you grow. With winning you become a champion. And champions become or grow through the challenges that they've had. And the coach comes in and he creates that culture immediately. Immediately everyone sees, I have a chance here. So everyone's raised their game. Whereas you see now, it's interesting you say Arsenal. Arsenal are 4th.
Yeah. Arsenal are 4th with 19 points
It's
versus
a well-oiled
28.
team.
True.
But look how they're failing.
True.
The inconsistency this year is bigger than last year because last year they were under tremendous pressure. And they were on a high all the time. But the pressure gets to players.
So, Coach, how do you avoid that? You reinforce, like, if you're an Arsenal fan or I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm curious. I want to know how to correct this. Do you reinforce the team? Because the pressure will always be there. How do you control that?
You got to bring in players that you think the team needs
at that time.
At the time, you got to bring in the right players.
That's to Arteta right now.
Yeah. So sometimes you bring in a player, but maybe he's got the wrong character. So it takes a time to start building, or for the new players to integrate. The characters are different, mentalities are different, cultures are different. If you look at the teams in the EPL, I would say that 90% of them, or even 95% of them, are 80% foreigners.
True. And that's so right.
So the minute you start mixing with different cultures and languages and all that, it affects the dynamics of the team.
100%.
And as a coach, even though he's been there, sometimes they're not skilled enough to do those things. It's a different skill to integrate people into a setup and to make it work. There could be other factors, obviously. That's why I say football is a very complex situation. And all you have to do is change 2 players in a position and it affects the dynamics.
Sure.
Let's say, for example, you've got a centre-back that's probably one of the world's best and he's moved on and you bring someone else. It's not the same.
Of course. Can never be.
Can never be the same. This guy's going to make mistakes.
Naturally so.
Naturally so. Maybe more than the other guy. And if he makes more mistakes than the other guy, well, there's consequences. The consequences are games, losses, goals. So you see, just by changing one or two players can change things. So that's why we talk about it's complicated. For me, the biggest surprise is Nottingham Forest.
They've done so well.
I'm actually
They
surprised.
have done so well. Coach, I know Nottingham Forest as a kid.
Yes.
They've always been a team that always fights relegation, and they would spend 4 or 5 seasons, you don't even see them in the EPL. Then they come back again, get relegated. That's the Nottingham Forest, Sheffield Wednesday, those are QPR Rangers. It's those teams, even Manchester City at one point used to be one of those teams. So
we call them yo-yo teams.
Yo-yo teams, yeah, that's the term.
Down, up,
yeah.
down.
Hey, but in recent years, they've changed.
And it's interesting because Nuno Espírito Santo, he's their coach.
Yeah.
And he was with Wolves, he did well with
And
Wolves.
he did such an amazing job.
For a while, the whole thing just collapsed.
Yeah.
He's taken over this year and he's done him. I looked at the log the other day and I saw Nottingham Forest.
You were shocked,
I was shocked.
Yeah, because you'd always find them there.
Yeah,
As I say,
I started looking at the bottom. I'm like, on day
That's how I know them as well.
next minute they fifth.
Can't believe it.
So that starts, and it's 11 games into the season.
And if my memory, if my memory serves me correct, the game that Liverpool lost was against
Yes.
Nottingham. Imagine.
Yes.
The only game that Liverpool lost. Anyways, continue,
Yeah.
Coach.
So Chelsea have been, I think, a surprise element as well. Because they've
been
consistent.
struggling.
They've been struggling.
They were mid-table for
Yeah.
the better part of
Yeah.
the past 2
Yeah.
seasons or so.
So Liverpool, top of the log. It's between them and Manchester City, to be fair. Manchester City lost 4 games in a row.
Imagine.
I
Who
mean,
saw that coming?
Who saw that coming? Exactly. But again, it just shows you that it doesn't matter at what level you are. The minute you rock the foundation or you shake the foundation, things can collapse. And they were shaken. I mean, they lost against Sporting Lisbon for the Champions League 4-1
After scoring first.
after scoring 4.
No, when I saw that, I'm like, that's going to be a rain of...
I was watching. I just thought, "Ooh, this could go horribly wrong."
Of course. And it did go horribly wrong.
Yeah, but the other way. So when you look at that, they lost the 4 games. All of a sudden, the players start going. It's not the same. It's not the same energy. It's not. There's no longer what I call the spring in the hill. They've lost 4 games.
Yeah.
They don't know what this next game can bring for them.
Of course.
Because now you start giving the opposition hope.
That they are beatable.
They are beatable.
And they're going more confident.
Yes. So now you see how the things change in football. It's always like, we're talking about Manchester City, 4 games, and how the dynamics change. Did the footballers forget how to play football?
No.
Did the coach forget how to coach?
Definitely not.
So what is it? The inspiration. It's the motivation. It's the emotional side of the game now. It's the psychological impact that this had on them. And now they're going on and they're scared to make mistakes.
Because they're not used to this feeling.
They're not used to that. Exactly.
Sure.
And the opposition are going, hang on, these guys are here for the take. Let's put pressure on them. They're human. And this is what people forget, that players are human. We all work with emotion and psychology. So if I can make you crack and if I can put you under pressure, you're going to make mistakes here.
Wow.
Doesn't matter how good you are. So all of a sudden, you've got the opposition looking at them and say, these guys are wounded guys. Lost 4 in a row against A, B, C, D. We can beat them. He'll make mistakes. Put him under pressure.
Of course.
Put the goalkeeper under pressure. Put the centre back under pressure. At the moment, he's playing with self-doubt. He's scared to get the ball. Play the ball to him and you'll force the mistake. And all of a sudden, you start taking the upper hand in the game. And they start playing with self-doubt. And the mistakes come. Things aren't flowing anymore. In sport, we talk about the flow, where things just flow. Where you pass a ball, it's like almost like a no-look pass.
Yeah,
you just go, play the ball. Because you know it's going to happen.
Yes.
After 4 games, you don't make this.
True. Now you start making
You start-
sure when
you start playing and looking up.
I get it.
Dynamics change.
Shoo. Are the wheels falling off at Man City? Do you think they'll come back and still dominate? Because obviously you can't be on top of your game forever and ever and ever. I mean, we saw Bayern Munich 9 seasons later.
This is it. You're so right, Sia. It's the psychological factor. Those guys aren't getting any younger. Every year they get older.
Wow.
It's on a decline way. The brain's been there for years.
True.
The motivation's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Now you lose 4 games in a row. You start finding it difficult to drag yourself.
And it's the same voice that traces at the dressing room. Same voice, different message. Same voice, different. Sometimes the message also comes back.
Yes.
Do you run out as a coach, if I may ask?
Do you?
Do you run out of ideas sometimes? I mean, if you coach the same players for, now it's how many seasons? About 9, almost 10 seasons it's been there, Pep.
Well,
Repeating the same message.
see, I'm writing a book on coaching, and one of the things I advocate a lot and talk a lot about, coaches need to be creative.
Okay.
So he needs to be creative.
Okay.
He needs to find solutions. You're paid as a coach to find solutions.
Of course.
And the more creative you are, sometimes you can say the same message in a different way. That's where creativity comes in. And I think now, at this stage, he's been challenged to start thinking of, okay, how do I reboot this team again?
Yeah. He has to find solutions.
He has to find solutions.
That's his problem. That's his
problem.
baby.
So he's got to now look within with his staff and start being more creative. Same ideas, but different angles, creativity, training sessions that will spike things up. Not the same thing, because at the moment what they're looking for is that, as I'll use the word now, reboot. He's got to rewire, and they've got to reboot.
Sure.
And once they get the result, if they get 2 results in a row,
The confidence is back.
the confidence.
So it's
is
a matter
back.
of confidence, coach.
Yeah, always. There's no doubt about it. When you start losing 3 games in a row, your confidence levels go up. And this is when you see here, when a coach leaves, look what happened with Man United.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Ten Hag left on a Monday, they played on a Wednesday, they scored 5 goals. And they won 3 games in a row.
Exactly.
So, the same players.
Speaking of Manchester United, you must have known the coach more than anyone else. Can you just tell us about the new man that's going to be in charge at Manchester United? As a fellow Portuguese brother, which you follow the Portuguese game very much. Just a slight idea what kind of a person he is.
Ruben Amorim is a player's coach.
Okay.
He's a coach that is player-centered.
Okay.
Everything he does is about the player. It's player well-being, integrity. The focus is always about the well-being of the player. He's just got this connection. It's got the human side of the coaching.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And this is the key factor with him. It's not, and he's smart. I mean, he's changed certain things at Sporting. He's brought in players. He has an eye. He has a talent.
Okay.
Not every coach is talented.
Sure.
The difference between a bad coach, average coach, and an excellent coach is talent.
Coach, on that note, can you just give me an example of a talented coach and coach who's not that talented but is just smart? Just a quick example.
A talented coach sees things without his eyes.
Practically, who would you say? Just the top of your head. Sorry to put you on the
Mourinho
spot.
was at one stage a talented coach.
Okay.
He was a talented coach.
Always found solutions and...
Always found solutions.
Okay. Jose Mourinho is a special
yes. And then, obviously, eventually things fade away. Ruben, definitely. Ruben is a talented coach.
Okay.
I think Nuno Espírito Santo is a talented coach.
Okay.
However, they're talented coaches, but they're not creative.
Oh.
So, Ruben Amorim, on the other hand, has been a creative coach. He always finds a solution to a problem.
I get it.
That's why I say he sees things without his eyes.
And the legendary Alex Ferguson, would you say he was a smart coach or talented coach? If I were to guess, I would say he was just smart, not talented. That's just me guessing from a supporter's perspective.
I think smart.
Okay.
Smart, definitely. Football era was different.
Okay, that also counts. Yeah, true.
Big time.
Well said.
But he was smart. His leadership, he was clever. And obviously you need to be talented as well.
Okay.
To have the success that he had, you got to be talented.
Okay.
Yeah. And talent, again, as I said, is seeing things that your eyes don't see. It's the gut feel. It's working with when you feel something is going to work for you, you make that decision.
I get it.
That's talent.
I get it.
And that's why I say it's seeing things without your eyes.
So he's definitely a talented coach. The Manchester.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
There's no doubt.
All right.
However, having said that, his luck. Imagine plays Saturday and he loses the first game.
Sure.
It can happen.
And you know the British media.
Yeah,
You know the British media.
Coming from 3 wins, the guy was there.
Goed van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy. He's gone. all of a sudden people ask questions. But I have no doubt the Ruben will turn it around. Because he's a player-centered coach and he's got the human factor. He connects with the players.
I get it.
So when you have a coach that comes in and the environment was toxic, as it was with Ten Hagen for the last 3 years, there was nothing positive about United. Everything that came in media was negative.
Yeah.
Not one decent word about the guy. They just kept him for I don't know why. But now he's gone. The team is detoxified. There's a different vibe. There's hope. Players probably feel,
thank God
this guy's gone. You know when you have pressure on your chest, it's like 20 tons on your chest and you can't breathe. You go to work and your energy is down. You just don't. You're dragging yourself. And all of a sudden, someone comes to you and says, "Listen, your boss is gone." You go, "Oh,
yeah, I get it.
Thank God this guy's gone."
I get it.
At least now we're all happy. It's that moment.
I get it.
So now it's up to him to take that energy and move it forward, which he can do exceptionally well.
So there's no guarantees in football, but you can almost attest that Manchester United are in good hands.
I have no doubt.
Okay.
He took Sporting Lisbon from a third tier. In Portugal we had Benfica, Porto for 30 years.
Yeah.
And then Sporting. Sporting was one of those teams, yes, big team, but third. Port Benfica. And they've had lots of coaches there. And they've won a league or two with Jorge Jesus, but not to the extent that they've had lately, the last 4 years since Ruben came in. They're in Champions League 2 years in a row.
Sure.
They beat Manchester City 4-1.
4-1. Who does that?
Before it was got hammered by Manchester City 4-1.
Of course.
He had the foresight, and again we could talk about that, to bring in Gyökeres, the Swedish striker. He's a goal-scoring machine in Europe. He wants him to go to Man United now. And Man United need a striker like him. They've got no one up front. So he's going to change certain players there because they don't deserve to be at United.
Sure.
He needs to clean out, technically speaking. When I look at Man United play, I'm like, no, man. Football's unfair. How can these guys be playing here?
Such a top team.
And these guys are playing at this team. And they're playing game after game. That's why the results don't come.
Sure.
The standard and the quality of the players are average, some of them. So he's already identifying Gyökeres to come to United.
Yeah.
He's already identified players, and you'll see a different United. This, for now, he has to manage. What he's got, obviously, I think in January there'll be 1 or 2 players coming in.
Of course.
Maybe 4 going out.
Yeah.
Because he's got to make room. But just by changing the dynamics, creating a much better vibe, it'll improve this team.
And coach, we cannot not touch on the how do I call them? Our did I say our glory boys? The Springboks. Such an amazing team here. You look at the past fixtures, how they've played, and they're just the toast of the town.
Listen, I was impressed. I watched the game.
Yeah. I mean, the past few, they won last week against Scotland 15-32. They won again on Saturday 20-29 against England. These guys are just ever doing so well.
Listen, when we can beat England by that amount. England has always been our, I don't know, who would team.
True.
Because England can play.
Very structured. They take their rugby seriously.
They can play. Yeah. But when you make changes like the Springboks do lately, they make 5 changes and we win. Next week is another group of players and we win. That's depth.
That's depth right there, hey?
We have depth. And that's been our secret. And again, talking about coaches, Rassi has created that. When things don't go well, people blame the coach. When things go well, he's changed the culture of South African rugby. He's changed the dynamics. Players come and go. I mean, I haven't seen certain players play and all of a sudden they're playing.
True.
That's the belief. He has a group of players that he believes in, and the players understand that you're not going to play every weekend. You're part of our team. We have to rotate because rugby is a physical game.
Definitely.
You know, week after week, it's a pounding on your body. So he's very intelligent in managing them. So when they come back, they're full of energy. They want to play. They're fresh. Physically, they're fresh because they take a pounding every week. So you've got to admire that. And I love watching the Springboks.
Of course, don't we all?
Because it's just an attitude.
Yeah, don't we? I think if there's a sporting team that brings a nation together, by far the Springboks does that over the years.
Yeah. No, listen, it's just that attitude. And this is the attitude we need in Bafana.
Yeah.
This is the attitude we need in all our other sports.
You know, Coach Zeca, I think back then in 1996 when Bafana won the AFCON, I was a light. I remember everyone was just united, and then a year later Amapogopogo won the country was just united. But I think this current Springbok team has surpassed both the success of 96 in terms of uniting the country and the success of Francois Pinard's team in 1995 in terms of uniting the country. This team, both 95 96 put together, this team alone has single-handedly united the country. And another thing to remember, in those days, 96 was for the Darkies and the Springbok World Cup was for the Afrikaners and the white people. Now it's whether you are a black, you are white, we all celebrate the success of the Springboks. I think this team has just taken it to the next level.
And I'm glad you put it that way, because this new generation is growing up with the new Springboks.
Exactly, that's what I'm
saying. And
saying.
They're growing up in a new dispensation.
Yeah.
And they're growing up in a country where we all united. Listen, let's get the record straight for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what we do in life. No country, it doesn't matter who we are, no country will be united, ever be united. No country. We're living a fallacy and people are using it as well. We are united, of course we are united. We are one nation, of course we are a nation. But I can assure you, if you go to the States, there's division.
Of course.
I can assure you, I know in my country, Portugal, there's a division between the North and the South. That's the way it is.
I mean, even in black cultures, you find that Zulus from KZN see less Zulus from... It's there's division in the same culture on its own as well. So division will always be there. I'm just supporting your statement.
Yes, yes, of course we are united. We get on with each other. Of course we do. There's going to be arguments, there's going to be dislikes and likes. As human beings, we have problems within our own family. And our family sometimes only 20 people.
True. True.
Does it say we're not united? Of course we are united. We're united through a common denominator. That is the jersey and the badge.
Yeah.
Because once that goes on a person, we unite. Because there's a common denominator.
True.
You know, I mean, we could be playing... Bafana is playing Nigeria.
Yeah.
I might not like soccer. But when Bafana plays, I support Bafana because it's a common denominator.
Wow.
And the Africans now are starting to see that, and I listen to it and I see it. The other day I was, funny enough, in a friend of mine's supermarket, and there were some African guys that were buying food. They were going to buy.
For the
you
see that a lot now, hey?
Yeah. And there was a white lady in front of them, and she looked behind them and she says, "Oh, you guys are having a party today."
Probably wearing a Springbok jersey.
And they looked at her and they says, "The Springboks are playing with Chambrai."
What a country! What a beautiful country!
That was the moment.
Wow.
And the lady's like, "Oh, are we playing today?" She didn't know.
No way.
She didn't know.
No
but the African guys were behind her. They're like, "The Springboks are playing. We gaan braai." And I said to myself, this is what the rugby does.
Exactly.
Because it's a culture. We are a braaiing nation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We just need an excuse, man.
Of course.
Now we want Bafana to start doing that.
Yeah, to unite us like
yes, where you guys going? Now we're going to watch Bafana play in the finals of the AFCON. Today we're braaiing.
Yeah. On my side, what touched me is like when I saw why I'm saying this now, that this rugby team really united the nation, you know. I've got a dad who's old school. He's very old, probably 70, almost 80. He's 70, 1950. He's about 74. He grew up in that old apartheid era. He went to the old Orlando Stadium that, you know, we don't like white people but he was calling me on Saturday to ask, what time are the Springboks playing? I'm like, what? You are watching. I understand the younger generation because they go to school with them. But now if an old man like that calls and asks, what time are the Springboks playing? I'm like, since when are you interested in Springboks? He says, we all love a winning team. They unite. That's when I saw, that was my moment to see that this team has really united the country. Not at one point has the country been so united over, as you say, the badge and the flag, if you want to put it that way. So shout out to this team, man.
No, and you see, that is the power of sports. And there, you've got to give credit to one person, Nelson Mandela.
I thought you were going to say Rassi.
No, Nelson Mandela. That was the turning point.
Yeah.
When he went on the field with a rugby jersey.
True. And that Francois Pinar number
Francois
9
number.
at Ellis Park.
Listen, I still get goosebumps with that.
Yeah. Everyone says that was a game changer.
That was the game changer.
And you know, before he went to that game, he says actually discussed with the Turkish Juarez, the people that he was with in those days. And they said, no, you know what? Don't go there. These people oppressed us. And he says, I am going. I am going to support this team. Before he went there, so it's just really a discussion. But that was a game changer, Coach. You're very right.
No. So those are the moments. And we can only get stronger. I think there's more positives than negatives in our country. The politicians do whatever they can to keep us apart. I know they do a good job at that. Sports, on the other end, unite us. And this is what we got to keep going. Take the sports, because we are a united nation.
True.
We are united. There's more goods than positives.
True.
And sports shows us every second day. Every weekend we get reminded of the power of sports. They're reminded the politicians try and destroy it.
True.
But we're not going to destroy the show. The show's come to an end.
No ways.
The show's come to an end.
Okay. Now I see how it feels like when we're having such a lekker call and someone tells you, dude, you guys must cut it off now. It's not a nice feeling.
No. You got Elias saying, wrap it up.
But I'm shocked, eh?
The hour's over. We've got to go. It's Friday.
Can we quickly have a part 2 and go until 8 o'clock?
Next time.
And go until 8 o'clock.
Yeah, thank you. So, as I said, today we're just chatting. We're unpacking, going back through the log, talking about the good things that we have. PSL, back on track, good management, leadership, and this is what we want. All we want is good leadership. People with good character.
Coach, I'm so sorry. I'm going to be rude. Sorry to interrupt you. Before you close it,
Yes.
I just want to say, Coach, thank you so much. You've really taken Sports Talk with Zeca to the next levels. The guys that you bring there, you bring massive, massive individuals. And what we get from that, for an example, from the top of my head, last week you had Tony on the show. Wellness coach. There's so much to learn from a wellness coach. The other week you had Leo. Leo tells you what's going on, grassroots football, and you had Frank Robson Smith. He tells you banyana things, nitty gritty things that happened behind the scenes in those days. I'm just running out of, I can't remember all your guests, but every guest that you have brought on here has added so much.
The pastor with the spirit.
Yeah, this pastor with
spirituality
in sports. Learn so much as that about that. I just want to say, I'm telling you now, you've taken Sports Tech with Zeca on Fridays to the next level. I look forward to listening and watching on Facebook Live. In case you've missed some of them, you can always go back to the Goife FM Facebook page. You'll find all of them. Guys, they're with you a while. Coach, your floor is yours. I'm so sorry.
We're done. We're done. Well, it's as I said, come to the end of the show. Remember, character matters, but more important, always be considerate. Take care.